Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Trisha. This is a channel all about cross stitch. If you've been here before and you're a regular returning, you are most welcome, and I appreciate you coming back to see what I am getting up to. And if you're new here, hopefully you'll see something that you like. I'm quite an eclectic stitcher. I like full coverage, I like small projects, samplers, you name it, I probably stitch it. So hopefully you'll find something that you like. Today is February the 1st, 2025, and together we are smashing 2025 with our stitching. So let's get into it. So today's video is all about my stitching in January. So it's a January complete update. During this month, I stitched, there was only one day that I didn't stitch, which is amazing. Some days I did very little stitching, but I managed to complete 19,355 stitches, which is totally amazing to me because that's a big number for me. There are a lot of people who stitch a lot more, but that's all I can manage. I'm trying my best. I like to enjoy my stitching instead of really frantically pushing myself. But I do have something about that later on. Yes, so let's get into it. I worked on 16 projects in total this month. Part of it will be a repeat for some people, but if you're new here, you won't have seen any of these projects at all. So I'm going to start with my Whip Go projects. The numbers that were called for January were 11 and 20. So I had 4 projects connected to those numbers. Better to See You With, Lady Godiva, Peace and Light, and Halloween Quaker. So I'm going to start with Better to See You With because it's on a scroll rod. Oh, and this is it here. Sorry for the glare from my blinds. This is charted by Cross Stitch Studio and the artwork is by Misty Walkup. I just love this. This is going to be most definitely a lifetime piece. It is somewhere in the region of 54,000 stitches, but that's okay. I'm not going anywhere, hopefully. So last month I put in 1,803 stitches, and I'm going to show you where I am. There's nothing really exciting here. But let me show you where I am with this. So this is all I've done. This is 1/1 full cross on 25 count with garner, and I'm just up in the skies. Yeah, I'm too afraid to start from the bottom and work my way up because I don't want to, if I get into Little Red Riding Hood straight off the bat, I may never complete it. I'm afraid of doing that. So I'm actually happy where I am. It's going to take a long time, as you can see. I show you this. So I'm kind of up here. Oops, I'm up here in the clouds, in the sky. Oh, actually, I'm over here. It's kind of hard to tell when you're holding it up. So I'm right up in this corner and working my way down. I don't really like to use gridded fabric, but I was so desperate to start, and this is the only fabric I had. I got this by mistake. I'm sure I didn't ask for gridded fabric. So I hope the grid lines come out. People say that they do, so we shall see. We shall see. So next up, I have, well, actually, I'm not going in order. I've written it in order, but I'm not going in order. Sorry about that. So that was Better to See You With was one of my Whip Go projects. And moving forward, I'm planning on putting in 100 stitches a day on this because I really need to get it moving. And then the next one up is Bothy Threads 12 Days of Christmas. There you go. And I'm working on this block here. This block I have a mistake in, but I found where the mistake is and I've got to frog out quite a bit. I think that if I can complete 2 blocks every 3 months, I should get this done by Christmas. So I'll show you where my stitching is. I managed to complete 2,168 stitches. All right, so this is where I've been stitching. And so it's gonna be another focal point for this month. I'm really pushing to try and get this finished this year. I started it in 2022. And then if we move over here to this block, I have to frog out, where is the line? I have to frog out from up here all the way down. So I'm just going to take my time on that and frog it out, and then I'll be ready to do that block when the time comes. So that's my 12 days of Christmas. Like most people, I won't say everybody, but like most people, I don't like the gold thread. And I'll complain about it every time. But it's moving along, so hopefully we can get it done this year. Do you have a project that you just need to get it done and get it off your whip list? And whips, by the way, if you're new here, is works in progress. So anyhow, the next one I have, when I did my whip parade at the beginning, sometime in January, halfway through January actually, I thought my chatelaine, this is Evening in the Park. That's a close-up look of, it's not a very good picture. I thought I'd measured my chatelaine, and I was really bummed about it, And then somebody said, well, you could put fabric around the sides and just, stitch right up to the edge, and it would be okay for when you come to frame it. Anyway, I went back and remeasured it with just a 2-inch border. It's fine. So I stitched on this a little bit. I didn't get much done on this, just 244 stitches, and I'll show you where I'm at. So I'm just starting on going around again. So I just did these bits here. And I have a question which I hope somebody out there can help me with. These charts can be very difficult to read, and I'm terrified of making a mistake because it would be difficult to frog it out, I believe. So my question is, on my chart, so here I drew a little diagram. So this is just one block, and then there are 2 where I believe a quarter stitches. Is that correct? Because I have a whole bunch of them. So where the W's are, those are quarter, I think a quarter stitches. Can you let me know if that's correct, if I'm reading that right? Because a lot of them have got to go in that little piece, and I don't want to stitch it until I know for sure that that's what I need to do, because it's using the treasure braid as well, doing quarter stitches. So anyway, if you can let me know what you think. I think it is quarter stitches, which there's so many quarter stitches in that, just in that section. And then you have to do 4 of them all the way around. Okay, so that's my Chatelaine evening in the park. The next one up is my travel stitching, which I started yesterday, I believe. I asked people last month if they would vote on which Prairie School or Santa they would like me to stitch. And so I am doing Snowy Night. And I made a start on this. I'm not sure what the fabric is. I would say it's 28 count even weave, but I'm sorry about the thread. I got 244 stitches into him. And that's all I got done. I was looking after my grandkids for the day yesterday because the teachers had a PDA day. So we looked after them for the day. We had a good day actually. So that's how much I got done. We live about 2.5 hours in good traffic away from them, and we stayed overnight. So we went Thursday afternoon and then came back yesterday afternoon. So it was nice. They had fun. We took them to a play place and they just ran themselves silly for 2.5 hours actually. But they had a good time, which is what counts. Okay. The next one I worked on, which is another focus piece for me for this year. I started this in 2022. It's called What Remains. This was a kit put out by Traditional Stitches. It was to celebrate their 20-year anniversary. So this is stitched on weeks 40 count, I think it's 40 count linen, using these threads. They're silks. They are fibers to die for. They're very pretty, but they're so soft. They kind of stick to my hands because my hands are a bit dry with it being the winter and all. Anyway, I worked on this month. And I put in, how many did I put in? Where is it? 970 stitches. I am so excited because this is another one I'm not, super excited to work on. And I don't know why really. So I did this basket here. I did Is Love here. And then I did down here and the birds across and 2020. This is to commemorate my mom. It's for her. She passed away in 2020. And so I got quite a lot done, and I think this is definitely going to be finished this year. I'm hoping in March. But I still have specialty stitches to do. I have a number of Smyrna crosses to do and some satin stitch. But once I get into those, it should go pretty fast, I think. So yeah. So what remains is Love, and it's by Blackbird Designs. I had a really good month last month because I worked on my projects for 3 days, pretty much nearly all of them for 3 days, except for my Chatelaine. I only got a day on that, not even really. My next project is another nemesis for me. It is the Fox and Rabbit 2022 sale, Changing Seasons. This is it here. And I'm working, well, I'll show you what I did. I actually finished this bit here. I've gone along here. I finished this block here and corrected my mistake because I had a mistake in it. And I just wasn't happy with this because I'd never done a mystery sale, so I didn't know what I was getting into, and I certainly wouldn't have used these colours. It's called Changing Seasons for a reason, but I just didn't know. I started like 6 months in. Started in the June of 2022. Anyway, I actually enjoyed stitching on this, which, go figure. I've made a decision on what I'm doing. So let me show you where I stitch so you could see the stitching on this. It's a big piece. So I stitched the pineapple. I actually frogged out this bit because I had the blue, the lighter blue in here. So I frogged that all out and put the darker blue in. And then I stitched along here, brought the border along with me. And then I also stitched, where is it? Turn it round this way. Sometimes it's just difficult to maneuver all this fabric. So, is that the right one? Yep. So I finished this block. So I was probably down to about here. And then I finished this block. I'd miscounted on the dark blue border. So I fixed that. So everything is correct now. And I found that these urns were a little overpowering when I stitched them, but I am changing. So each season has the word like spring, summer, autumn, winter, and I'm going to stitch those in the lighter blue, which will balance out this bit a little bit more. And I'm changing the font that I'm stitching it in, so I have to chart that myself. So I'm quite happy with it. This will be another one I've shortened. I'm chopping it basically. I am not stitching all of it. So as it stands right now, I am not stitching this border here. Yeah. So I'm just doing the internal bit. But there's so much stitching there. I will never do another mystery. That's just my feeling. I need to see what it's going to look like complete. And that's the beauty with Fox and Rabbit, actually. You can wait until the end of the year. And then if you like their sale for that particular year, you can just download it at the end of December and you can stitch it, which would have been a smart way of doing it, but I just jumped in. I was such an eager beaver that I wanted to do everything, absolutely everything. And so you learn. It was a lesson learnt. Next up, I have my Lady Godiva. It's a full coverage. This is her. Yeah, this was on my Whip Go. And I stitched Lady Godiva. I put in 1,676 stitches. You can barely see where I'm at. I have lots of threads sticking up. I'm sorry about that. That's just the way I anchor my threads. So that's what I have. I'm working on the first page. It's kind of dark, isn't it? You can't fully see the colours in that. This is kind of like a light brown reddy colour, and this is black. So this was charted by Charting Creations, and the artwork is by John Collier. And basically, I'm up here in this little bit here. Yeah. I come from Coventry, so that's why I'm doing it. And I'll pass it on to my sons. Let's see which one actually... Well, I won't be here. I won't know if they keep it or not, but it will go to one of those. One of them. Okay, the next one I have is Pandemic. Now, the goal for this year for Pandemic is to do 5 pages, to finish 5 pages. And I was stitching in the 3rd page. So it would be nice to get the top pages complete. And I'll show you what I've done. I'm really thrilled with this as well, because I completed the 3rd page. And it was quite easy to do. So I put 1,221 stitches in this. I felt as if I'd stitched more than that actually, but that's what it says. Yep. Let's get it over so you can see. So yes, I stitched all the way down here, did this bit, and across here to finish the 3rd page. So now I can start on page 4. Wouldn't it be cool to get the whole top rows done? I think there are 20 pages. I need to get this done because there's 2 others that I would like to do. I don't know, I'm very ambitious. The beauty of it is though, is that I'm retired now. So the only thing I need to do is to keep my house clean and to have my grandkids over every now and then. They come. Yeah, that's all. That's my world right now. We travel quite a bit. We're just booking another cruise, and I'll be spending quite a bit of time in England later on this year. Yeah, I get very homesick. It's terrible, really. I just can't get away from it. For 2 pins, I would move back, but my children are here. This next one was also on my Whip Go. This is Halloween Quaker by Lila Studios. And, oh, I'm nearly finished this. So I stitched this. I finished the houses along here. And I did this motif, did quite a bit, put in 2,422 stitches. This is on 40 count Stormy Night, I believe. So I stitched 1 thread over 2, and this is what I did. Oh, I did the cat as well, I believe. I'm not sure if yeah, I did this cat. So if I keep folding it. Okay, so I stitched these houses here. I did the cat and the bat, and I did the W. I did this and this. And I also completed a big motif. This one here. So all I have left is, let me look again. yeah. So all I have left to do is come over here, the pumpkin up here, the trick or treat, and this bit down here, and it will be finished. So I'm hoping it will be a finish this month. Wouldn't that be cool? I'm so excited about that. It's been a long time coming. This is another 2022 project, so I really would like to get that finished and off my whip pile. Okay, next up we have Little House Needleworks. This is the first one. This is Hope, and I've completed this. I'm going to stitch all of them on this piece of fabric. Don't know what the fabric is. It's a 32 count linen. I'm not too fussed over the colour, but this looks pretty cute. So that's where we're at. And I will get the button, which will go up in the corner here. So yeah, that's Hope. And it's Sheep's Virtues by Little House Needleworks. Very cute. I changed this color, the white. I think I changed the brown, and I changed one of the greens. I wanted to brighten it up. Probably two of the greens. But yeah. This is going to my grandkids, so I need it to, you know, look appealing. Okay, next up I have Reaching Skywards by Modern Folk Embroidery. Someone commented on my colour choices for this, and thank you very much. Much appreciated. It's DMC 3045, but this was one that Jacob recommended. I changed the blue though. His was a darker 900 and something, so mine is 823. So those are my colors for this, and I dyed the fabric myself. Coffee and Tea dyed it. I would like to get this done this year. Not too sure if I'm going to be able to. So in January, I finished the circle in the middle. I was probably halfway down it. And I started bringing the sides down. This side down here, where this motif is with the bird. I'm sorry, I'm sitting so far back. It's such a big piece, but I'm really happy with the way it's turning out. It is huge, and there's a lot of dense stitching. All of this is probably more stitching than what I've done up to now. So I don't know if I'll get this finished, but I certainly am going to work on it to see if I can get it finished. Problem is, when you have so many whips, there's just not enough time in the day. Somebody needs to find out a way of adding hours to our days, because that would be very useful. Very useful. Okay, next up I have, this is Stargazer by Mirabilia. This is a Nora Corbett design, and this is stitched on 32 count vintage country mocha, and I'm stitching it on the wrong side, which is probably a good idea because it would have been too busy otherwise. So this is what I've done so far on her. Let me just back up a minute. On Reaching Skywards, I did 2,168 stitches. On this one, Stargazer, I did 1,837 stitches, working mainly in her dress. So I filled a lot in and started to bring it across and work down here. All the gaps obviously are where beads are going to go. So this is probably extremely ambitious, but I would love to get all the cross stitching done this year and then just be left with the beading. I'm not too sure if that's possible because this dress is huge. I thought I'd almost finished it all, but it comes out quite a bit. Yeah, if you look here, there's all of this. And I haven't stitched that yet. I've done all of this bit and going up to here. Yeah, so I still have quite a ways to go. But I live in hope. Okay, next up. Oh, I forgot to bring one in. Oh well, never mind. Next time I'll show it you and there'll be more stitches in it. Okay. This one is called Peace and Light. It's by Satsuma Street. And this was a whip go as well. I put in 1,454 stitches. And this is where I'm at. Don't particularly like this fabric. I'm not sure. I think it's an 18 count Aida. It's the called for fabric. It took me a long time to settle in to stitching on this. But yeah, I'm okay with it now. So I think once you put your mind to it, this is where I find, once I found that this is what I'm going to do and I need to get it done and I really focus on it, it wasn't so bad. That was the same for the Fox and Rabbit 2022 sale. Once I actually settled in and started stitching on it again, it wasn't bad at all. It wasn't bad at all. There's one of my projects that I didn't bring in, and it was this one. Sorry, I didn't bring it in. It's the Afghan. It's from Witchell Imports. It's Christmas Town Afghan. I actually put 800 and some stitches in that. But you'll see the progress next month. I'm sorry. Okay, so next. So next, for this month, well actually, for those that are new around here and did not see my whip parade, if you'd like to go and see my whip parade, it comes with a warning. It is a bit long, but then you get to see all of my projects. But I did have a finish. It's called Strawberry Fair. So I finished this in January, which you'll also see on my whip parade. But that's one finish so far for the year. And now I have a story to tell. So when I started stitching, when I started to get fully into cross stitch, it was in 2022. And I fell down that rabbit hole really hard. And like a lot of us, actually, this isn't unique to me. A lot of people have fallen hard into the rabbit hole. But it's not only starting all the new projects and really enjoying your stitching, which I adore. I get so much joy out of stitching. It's very meditative, it's peaceful. I just love it every day. But there's a part of me that's like, I need to get that project done. I need to stitch, and then I start stitching and I calm down. Well, anyway, I was dreaming, and I was dreaming about the white rabbit from Alice in Wonderland. And I thought, I've got to stitch a white rabbit because, you know, because he's always, I'm late for a very important date. Well, for me, it was, I'm late for a very important project. And that's how I found. So I found this little guy. Now, I'm a big tea drinker. I was weaned on tea. I love tea by far over coffee. I just love tea. So I'm going to stitch this. This will be a new start sometime, maybe this year. And I'm going to put underneath, I'm late for a very important project. Because that's kind of how I feel. And I thought I'd stitch it on this. This is Lunar Moth. It's a 32 count linen by Bestitch Me. I was in their Fabric of the Month club. Isn't that gorgeous? And I think he would look really nice on there. So at least I found something to put on here, put on that fabric, because it's not necessarily a colour choice I would choose. So I'm kind of more neutral. Anyway, so that's the deal for January. That's all my stitching. The whip go numbers that were called for February were 7 and 8, and I tend to stitch 3 days on each. 2 of them are What Remains, which you've already seen, and Peace and Light, which you just saw, which was this one. They were called on my whip go, and there's 3 days I work on each of my whip go projects. And I'll show you the other 2. The other 2 are full coverage. And just let me find the Nutcracker came up. Here he is in all his glory. This is an Artisy, created by Artisy. The artwork is by Lynn Bywaters. But there he is. Isn't he gorgeous? It's just a mini. And a mini being 216 by 300 stitches. And this is the starting point on this. So this is being stitched on a 20 count. 2/1, I believe. Yeah, 2/1. So that's where I'm at with this one. So I'm just basically, I'm just starting here, coming across here, got this big dot in. Yeah. Isn't he lovely? I love nutcrackers. I have a few nutcrackers. In fact, I have a huge nutcracker outside on my porch. He's 6 foot high, 6 foot tall. And my granddaughter, Livia, married him a couple of years ago. So that's her husband out there. It's all a joke, and we'll never let her forget it. So the next one that I have is, it's like an ornament. It's a quick stitch, Spirit of Winter Robin. This is the design. It was charted by Heaven and Earth Designs, and the artwork is by Ciro Marchetti. And I restarted this, so there's not much on it. Being stitched on a 25 count. It is so small. It's being stitched 1/1, full cross, and there it is. It's been so long since I stitched on this. I think I started somewhere around here. Not sure. I guess I'll find out. So that's all I have. Thank you for being here. I hope you've enjoyed what you saw. And if you did, please press the like button, because when you press the like button, it helps other people to find the video. And if you really enjoyed what you saw and would like to see how my progress goes, hit the subscribe button, because I'd love to see you back here. Let me know what you're stitching on. It's always good to hear from you. I love reading the comments, and have a great stitching month. Take care. Bye.